Yeah, just winging it today. Welcome to the Shrewsbury Biscuit, everybody. Today I'm joined with DeeDee. How's it going, DeeDee? How's it going? And we're joined with Bibbs from the Civic Society. How's it going? You okay?
I'm good.
Okay. This microphone, you can pull it in towards you. The mic stand will move it for you. That's it. Brilliant. That's perfect. Today we're going to be talking about the Civic Society, Shrewsbury Civic Society, and what it is, what you guys do, what's important to you guys, and then we'll break into a bit of Darwin Festival. Before we start this podcast, I need to do a bit of work just to say thank you to our sponsor, who is Gin Different. If you like your gin, or if you're just on the fence, not quite sure about it, make sure you give Gin Different a try. Their bar is in the market hall in town, and they'll get you those bottles of gin that you can't quite get in Asda, Tesco and stuff. They'll go out and get them for you. They'll order them in, and you'll see them about. They go on the festivals. They take their bar everywhere with them. Give them a follow on Facebook, on Instagram.
Can you use gin on your keto diet?
I think so, yeah, because it's like alcohol.
It is.
Yeah, like things like vodka, gin, whiskey, things like that. It's great.
Well, I think it's brilliant for a hangover because when you feel really ill after you've eaten bad food, like it disinfects you from the inside out.
Yeah.
That's a terrible thing to put on to say. It's like any excuse for gin, any excuse.
We're having, actually at the end of the month, we're having a cheat day. So we're going to be.
You can't have a cheat day.
Yeah, you can.
All you do is talk about your keto. You can't have a cheat day.
We're doing a New Year's month party because I couldn't do New Year's Eve. All right, so we're having a New Year's month party.
Why didn't you do the Chinese New Year?
I don't know.
It would make too much sense.
In a sense, it's going to be a Chinese New Year because we're going to be eating Chinese. So.
See, there you
go. So thank you for joining us today, Bibbs. It's really lovely to finally have you on because I think we met like last year.
We did. We've been meeting in Shrewsbury for quite a long time, backwards and forwards. Yeah. But it's good to be here.
Yeah.
Great to be on your programme.
Yeah, it's really nice to have you here. Finally, I mean, things are a bit more organised for us now. Back in the day, I was kind of like just grabbing people off the street. Go on my podcast. So trying to find people was quite difficult for us. But being part of the planning process for the Darwin Festival has been a real privilege for us and quite an honour. And that's where we've met so many wonderful people like yourself, So the Civic Society, okay, should we go into that? What is the Civic Society? Explain to people.
Well, the Civic Society was started over 50 years ago in Shrewsbury.
Fantastic.
And, we're at the Bare Steps.
Yes.
That beautiful medieval hall in the centre of town. Well, back in the 60s, it was derelict, and the council wanted to demolish it. And the Civic Society was formed so that it wouldn't be demolished. At that time, if you remember, there were a lot of Tudor buildings being demolished and then concrete buildings being put up in their place. And it didn't do much good for the Shrewsbury historic landscape.
No.
Yeah.
But we saved the Bare Steps. It was Sir George Trevelyan who was the chairman at that time, and he, if you remember, was at Attingham Hall and he used to run an adult educational programme there. But he stepped in together with some masters at the Shrewsbury School and other people in town, and they formed the Civic Society.
Fantastic.
The mission statement on the Civic Society, which is a charity and a limited company, is that we take care and preserve historic buildings and the environment, built environment of the town. And that's what we aim to do, basically.
Well, that Bare Steps, Fish Street, in that kind of area is kind of sacred.
Yeah, it's very well known, isn't it? Everyone knows it.
People love that area of town. And so to look after that place, preserve it, because it's like walking up Fish Street or around Bare Steps is almost like walking in a movie, isn't it? It feels very historical.
Well, it was in a movie.
Yeah, they used it in the Christmas Carol, didn't they? Yeah.
Yes, in fact, Tiny Tim lived at the Bare Steps.
Really? That's fantastic. Yeah. So since it began the Civic Society, how did it grow? Did it grow quickly? Is it one of these things that was just like, wow, this is an amazing idea. Let's save Shrewsbury and the historic side of it?
Well, the whole of Shrewsbury got behind Sir George when he started fundraising, because the council said we could renovate the building, but we had to raise £50,000, which in the 60s was a considerable amount of money. Yeah. If you think you could buy a house for 100,000 at that time. So the whole of Shrewsbury came behind us, and the children in the schools, they were saving pennies, and people would send in money, and we had a thermometer outside of the bare steps, and as we got more funding, the thermometer went up. But we did get a lot of publicity as well. We were in the Guardian, Telegraph, and we were also in papers in America, and we were even getting dollars and $10 sent over from America.
That's brilliant.
Because people wanted to save this beautiful building. And eventually, by 1973, it was renovated and opened by Sir Clough Williams. I think he built Portmeirion. He was a friend of Sir George Trevelyan's, and he opened it. But as a little sideline, Mary Beard helped with the funding of the Shrewsbury Civic Society's renovation of the building. You know Dame Mary Beard, who's very famous now on the television, and we have a photo of her in a school uniform, rallying the crowd.
Worldwide recognition for what you guys are doing. That's amazing. I love that.
Yes. And then as it was renovated, people began to value the Tudor buildings in the town and started to renovate those individually and privately. But it started a trend which we're the benefactors of, really, because now we have a beautiful town with some lovely Tudor buildings.
So, from what I'm getting from this, okay, so was it always Shrewsbury's plan to preserve the history of the town, or was it what you guys started was the turning point of actually no, we need to keep this town as it is? How close was this town to being flattened and turned into a modern metropolis, if you like?
Well, I wasn't here at the time, so I really can't tell you what was in the mind of the people. But certainly, I think they wanted to be a modern town. Yeah. Bear in mind that Telford was beginning its transformation into a modern city or modern town, and maybe Shrewsbury, I'm not saying that was so, wanted to replicate what was happening in Telford, but I think we did well to value the historic property there, because now we have something completely different to Telford, and people love to come here just to visit.
Well, it is that, isn't it? You go to Telford now, and Telford it's a very young town, isn't it? It hasn't really been round as it is now for very long, and they come to Shrewsbury and think it's amazing, don't they? And I think the people that live here, we don't realise how fortunate we are with our buildings. I think unless you look up, isn't it? I always think that unless you look up, you don't notice all these parts. Like I did a couple of weeks ago, I went on one of the guided tours, and I've lived here all my life, and I went on one of the tours, and I was so fascinated by all the buildings, and we went up bare steps and everything. And these are all places that I've grown up around, but you meet so many people that come here on holiday. You're like, why are you coming here on holiday? What's so special about here? But it's absolutely phenomenal, isn't it?
Yes, I live in the centre of town, and I think you get a bit blasé about it.
You do, when you see it every day.
You don't notice. See it, you don't notice it. And then you go away on holiday and you walk up Castle Street and you think, wow, I live here. That's amazing.
It's great. It's great to be a part of. I mean, that's why I do this show. The original concept was, I live in Shrewsbury, let's tell people about it,
Yeah.
So what from the beginning of, like, not the beginning, but through time, what are your claims to fame? What are the things that you've saved, or the thing,
Well, initially the Bear Steps Hall, and then we went on to help renovate Fellmongers Hall, which is down in Frankwell. I don't know if you've seen it. It's also called the Charles Darwin Centre, I think. And we do a lot with planning applications. At the moment, we're really inundated with all the planning applications that come in for new builds. And that's something we cover as well, because we're interested in quality of design and
keeping it in keeping.
And keeping the green space around it, and the transportation links and that sort of thing. So it's generally the built environment. And as we've gone along, there have been lots of things that we have done, too numerous to mention now, but we've always been a stable part of Shrewsbury, and people come to us, for advice. That's another thing. If you have a problem, come to us. If you see a derelict building, come to us. At the moment, we have a large planning committee that deals with the planning applications. They have qualified staff on there. There's architects. There's building surveyors, ex-planners, all sorts of people that have really got terrific expertise in that subject, and they look at the planning applications every month. Sometimes there's 50 a month that they have to go through, and they decide, what is good for, and if there is something good, we'll write a letter and say, wow, this is terrific, And we also have awards every other year, the Civic Awards, to highlight buildings that are of value to the town, or we think have been very good designed, or something, or have lasted the test of time.
Well, speaking of that, I love the idea that Shrewsbury can be a historical town, but with little flashes of innovation and the look at the future. Okay, so yes, we have the modern buildings, but then there are times when it just doesn't meet. Like the town square, for example. You can stand by that statue and spin around and look, and you'll see historic buildings until you get to above Starbucks, and it's kind of like,
oh baby.
But you see the old black and white photos of what used to be there.
Princess House. That's been a really a difficult subject for us, particularly the Civic Society in town, because at one time, a few years back, I don't know if you know, they were going to renovate it completely and put flats into it. Oh, gosh. And there was a lot of backwards and forwards going. They were going to cover it in grey stone, or grey cladding. Like
granite type,
Yes, but we felt it didn't go with the square at all.
No.
And if we could improve the building in any way, we felt, maybe if they made it into a sandstone that went with the rest of the square, it would blend in more. And we did get that through, but unfortunately the people that owned the building then sold it on, so none of that renovation was done.
There's plenty of opportunity for that, though, isn't there, to make it, because it is Darwin's town, and Darwin is all about evolution and innovation. So there are opportunities there to make this historic looking town, to give it like little glimpses of the future. Like, for example, the bus station. Okay, the bus station. I don't like the bus station. I think it's a bit drab.
Yeah.
I said that I think the bus station could do with something looking futuristic and cool but nice, but it's tucked away on that side of town where it's okay to kind of do that. And then
you compare it to the train station around the corner.
Yeah,
massive difference, isn't it?
Exactly. So you could.
I think the costing was a bit different as well.
That tends to be the big thing, isn't it?
I think that the train station at its time cost a lot more to build than the actual bus station.
Yeah.
But I do think we need a bus station in town.
Oh, yeah.
And this is my opinion at the moment. But and usually there's an equation in town planning where you have your bus station close to your train station, so that it makes easy access for people coming into the town.
Yeah.
And
because it's not quite...
It does need renovating, though. It gives a very unhappy first look at our town to some of our visitors, and we want to show the best, not the saddest.
It's right on that waterfront as well. That waterfront. I mean, it's meant to be getting renovated. The waterfront with the shopping centre being taken down. Riverside's going. I think it's going, isn't it?
Yeah, Riverside. It's going to be part of it. I think.
I think there's plans for it. I haven't seen. There's no planning application yet, so we haven't got involved.
They've done all the sketches.
I think there are plans for it, and they want to take away that road. And make it all pedestrianised down to the river. And I think they're talking about renovating the frontage of the buildings there at the moment. So it's watch this space basically because we don't know how they're going to plan it. They haven't put in any planning applications. It's been
going on for quite a while, hasn't it? Because they did all their drawings and they said that's certain places are going to go in there, and then they said they weren't.
There's that picture of the jetty that goes right down to the river. Yeah.
And then the doctors there, I think they were going to get moved to near the sixth form college or something like that, weren't they?
Doctors, I'm part of that surgery because I live in town. They're going to Tanner's building. Tanner's, you know, where the students are going.
Yeah, it's right there by the sixth form, isn't it? Near there.
Yeah, so they are definitely moving.
That's going to be so nice, isn't it? Because I'm part of that surgery as well. I'm looking forward to that. We're going to have fancy doctors.
And you've got plenty of parking in front of it, so that's good for people that come in by car.
I did see something in the press this week. Actually, it's quite a bit of a great thing for the town. Was they were digging on is it St. John's Hill?
Yeah,
and they found that basement.
Oh, yes, and they were going to fill it in.
They were going to fill it in with concrete, and somebody saved it, and they were like, actually, this is quite an important place to keep. Yeah. And it got saved because the council were just going to come and
fill it in. I understand why, because they were worried about with people on it caving in and everything like that, but obviously it wasn't necessary because obviously they've had someone look at the structure and they've been able to keep it. So
Shrewsbury just keeps coming up with these great little finds, doesn't it? These great little historical.
And it's amazing how much there is underground.
Yeah.
It's probably like our own little catacombs going on soon, isn't it?
But that particular one we were involved with and we're glad to see that it's been resolved.
It'd be nice to have a little walkway so people can go and have a look or something. I mean, I guess with the structure of the buildings that are going to be on top of it might be difficult, but I don't know, there's a way to work around it. I mean, like if you've ever been underneath the prison to see the Georgian tunnels. It's you do kind of have to shimmy around like the components that they've got for like the heating, the old, but you can still see the archways of the old cells and things like that. So there were ways for people to kind of get an idea of what that was used for, I guess. And this is why I love like Chris Yerk. I love getting Chris Yerk from Shrewsbury Where You Are Not on the show because he's the guy that climbs on top of the rooftops and takes the pictures.
Oh, they're marvellous, aren't they? And goes inside buildings. Is that the guy? Yeah. Oh, wow.
He's been on our show twice. He's a great guy.
Yes.
Controversially, he's been on the show a couple of times. People are like, oh, that Chris Shirk. But I would love to do a regular thing with him where we go and find a place.
I was going to say, you've got to go with him. I think that's what you need to do next.
Yeah, we can do that. And I said to him, can you get me in the bottom of McDonald's? This is before it was somebody moved in there.
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, but it wouldn't be legal. I was like, I can't really do that. We may or may not be in the bottom of McDonald's. Anyway, Civics.
I've got some lovely photographs if you want them.
Yeah, that'd be good. Where do you guys keep all these photographs? Because imagine you've got quite a huge collection.
A wonderful person called Russell Game who used to be a teacher, and he's our archivist at and we have 50 years of history, so there's quite a bit, and it was all higgledy-piggledy before, but he's come in, he's organised it, he's trying to digitise it, he's put it on an index so you can find anything, basically. I'm doing this exhibition of Darwin, and he found out all sorts of things about Darwin from the archives, and then I asked him for something on Felmengus Hall, and he went and he found it straight away. So it is marvellous to be able to have that.
I'd love to. I did message the archives, the actual Shropshire archives, to see if we could do I'll learn something new or something. So we take this, we set up, and then they show me something new every month, and I learn about it, and whilst I'm looking at it. They didn't get back to me. So if anybody's listening from the Shrewsbury archives, I really want to do that, because I think it'd be a great little segment. Like, what is the history of this thing that we're holding right here? Who used to own it, and where does it come from?
Yeah, that's very fascinating.
Or even the museum, they've got some fabulous bits in there.
They do. It's in the process. It's all in the process, baby. And so, the archive, is it public, or is it?
It's lots of papers, so I don't think it would be terribly interesting for some. It's not like a beautiful silver object or something like that. It's archives of planning applications over the years, and finance over the years, and press cuttings over the years. Actually, it probably might be quite boring for most people.
But I guess
but for us, it's an absolute terrific resource.
But to be able to find out directly who's responsible for Shire Hall, I mean, some people might find that interesting. What are your thoughts on that?
Yes, I mean, I found an article in the archives on the building of the bus station, which I found quite interesting. And that's the sort of thing you could probably find from us. So,
how have things changed over the years as far as like planning is concerned? Because, I mean, back in the day, was there a lot of shady business going on?
That I can't tell you really. I'm not responsible for planning in the Civic Society. The person you need to talk to is our chairman of planning, Mike Carter, who probably it would be good to have just a special podcast with him to tell you about all the planning applications and what they've done with planning and where they're going with the town. Of course, we put on the conference Shrewsbury Growing Forward 1 and 2, and that talked about how the town would grow and where we wanted to see it growing. And then we did the conference on the Northwest Relief Road. So we do bring the town's attention to various subjects like that. But he's the expert in planning, really.
There are lots of conundrums with Shrewsbury, though, isn't there? So with the Relief Road, and I mean, because let's face it, the population's growing fast, right? So they're having to build houses everywhere. Every little bit of space they can find, they're building houses and apartments. But it affects the infrastructure a huge amount, doesn't it?
It does. As far as the town is concerned, we have to accept 8,000 more houses by, I think it's 2036. I can't be sure.
So the relief road's definitely going to have to be needed, isn't it? Because it's like one side town to the other side town, you have all this, but then obviously the people it's going to affect putting that road in, isn't it? You've got to think about them as well.
Well, Shrewsbury Civic Society haven't made a decision one way or the other.
Because I know it's been sat on for quite a while, hasn't it? The whole idea of it.
Yes, yes. It's been going a long time, but there are some beautiful pieces of countryside that
could be greatly affected.
Yes.
Like the Hencote pools that it'll go right past.
Yes, yes.
All the way down to the water tower, isn't it? Yeah.
It's a case, I guess, of what would you rather, It
is very much pros and cons of everything, isn't it?
Oh, God. My bad.
And what's happening to cars? I mean, what will we be driving in 15, 20 years' time? Will it be something different?
I'll still be in my same car. I'm keeping it till either me or the car goes first. I don't know.
If I could drive a Tesla, I would definitely drive a Tesla. I'm all for.
Would you have with the gull wings, the proper?
I want his truck that he released. That
yes, the one with the rubbish windows.
Yes,
looks like a Terminator or something.
Yeah.
I would drive that just for the shock and awe of it, but they'd be like, "Oh my God, was he driving?"
You just get so much abuse driving through Shrewsbury in that
with Shrewsbury biscuit.
Oh no, I will hide.
I think the push is to be a bit more. The electric cars, I think, are a great idea. What's the harm there? But you guys do a great job, and keeping this town looking the way it does. I think it's important to people because we talk about it all the time on how people just walk around in awe of what they're seeing. Like our American listeners, a lot of my American friends, I've spoken to people whilst on like Facebook Live, walking around town to my American buddies, and they're like, "Oh my God, look, show me that building," or "Look at that." They can't quite.
And we don't think anything of it. We're used to it, aren't we?
Yeah.
Do you know, last year, as you saw, my husband's American, and I lived in America for 20 years. So all our children are in America, and all our friends actually are in America.
Yeah.
Last year, from April till October, we didn't have a free week. There were Americans staying with us all the time.
They love it.
And they love it. And they come back.
So how come you moved to Shrewsbury? Are you originally from Shrewsbury, or?
Oh, I'm a Shropshire girl.
Yeah?
I was born in the county, yes. But I went away and started a business in America with my husband, and it was pretty successful. And then my daughter came back, and she was ill, and I had to come back to take care of her, and ended up staying. So
I always said that I'd love to go and just spend a year or so broadcasting over in America. I'd love that, and then could just come back. I mean, it's just one of those things that I'd like to do in the future one day. You know, what was that like coming back from America to here? Was it nice? Was it like,
It's a bit of a culture shock, because people say that Americans and British are very similar, but they're not. It's a completely different way of life. I love Shrewsbury, I love the town, and I love where I live in St Alkmund Square. But in America, you have everything at your convenience.
Yeah.
You know, anything you want, you can get delivered. It's an amazing experience living in America. The houses are much bigger.
Yeah.
Huge houses, and we had a swimming pool, but it wasn't anything unusual as it would be in this country. So you've got the weather to use it as well. So things like that, yes, I miss.
So we have rubbish weather and small houses. That's what we've come up with.
But they're small, beautiful, Georgian houses,
definitely
listed buildings and
they stand for years.
Yeah.
Well, my co-host for the other show that I do, Thorskin, is American. He lives in Vermont, and we broadcast this show from the UK and America, and we are rebranding everything, because I think whilst doing this show, like the culture between the UK and the US is so different. You wouldn't believe it. So we're going to rebrand it into a network called You Suck, as in US, UK, You Suck. It's a cheeky little play on words. And the emphasis is going to be building a bridge over the Atlantic, because I feel like we could learn from each other, you know? But anyway, moving back on to topic. Charles Darwin. Let's talk about Charles Darwin, because there are some notable characters from Shrewsbury. Charles Darwin probably being at the top of the pile. Then you got your Lord Hill, and you got so many people that are very influential, and people, you know, find a love for. But we do this festival, the Darwin Festival, to celebrate the birth of Darwin and his achievements and his innovations. And I guess this is like a pivotal moment for you guys. This is a way of singing Shrewsbury's praises, right?
Yes, I mean, goodness, we've got Charles Darwin, who wrote on the origin of species, and we're so lucky to have him having been born here. And most of his life, where he experienced what he wrote about later on, was done within the confines of Shrewsbury.
Yeah.
So it's...
Well, he went to school here, didn't he, as well?
He went to school. He was born in the Mount on February the 12th, 1809. And he had quite a large family. His sisters educated him when he was a little boy, so he was kept at home. But he lost his mother when he was 8 years old, which is a terrible thing, really. And I've just been researching, and his father lost his mother when he was 4 years old, so they had a lot in common, really.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And then he went off to a day school, and he enjoyed that. And then he went to the Shrewsbury School when he was a little older. And he didn't like learning the classics. He was apparently a bit of a naughty boy when he, or shall we say, had an independent mind.
Yeah, it probably fits in quite well at that school. My brother went to that school, and they're all a bit to their own sometimes.
But yes, he had to learn Greek and
Latin and stuff.
They learn so many languages up there. So my brother he's nearly 30, And I'm pretty sure when he was there, it was probably not much different to when Charles Darwin was there. There's kind of things like I remember going on a tour round, and because obviously with the Darwin Festival, they're having all Darwin's things on display over at the boys' school to everything like that. And I was saying it to my brother the other week, and he was like, "Oh, well, there's some in the library. You can just go and look at them at the school." And I'm like, "What?" He was like, "We used to sit in the library," and he was like, "You can just pull out like his old like books and just open them up," and he was like, "and just see them." And I was like, "Surely someone should." They probably lock them away now. I was like, leave them with you lot. Oh my God.
No gloves.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, put it down.
So let's talk about that. What's going on at the school, because they're going to be displaying a lot from their archives, aren't they?
Yes. I'm not too sure. Weren't they going to do it at the museum? But I'm not terribly sure on that.
Okay, so let's have a look in the brochure. That's why it's here. Okay, so
what we've got is the exhibition that's at the Bear Steps, free of charge. Yeah. So it's your chance to go into a medieval hall without paying and have a look at what Darwin's life was like. It's basically his life in Shrewsbury from when he was born to when he goes away to London. So it includes his school life, his journey on the Beagle, who he met in Cambridge and Edinburgh. So it's really quite comprehensive. And there's lots of pictures if you want to bring your children in. So
how old was he when he left the town?
Oh, look, it's recording. Oh my God, Bibbs, I'm so sorry about that. We were talking about Darwin and his journey, but we got cut off because I forgot to empty the memory card on the microphone.
We had a lovely break.
It just took us about 15 minutes to get the mic working again. So I think what we should do, because we got half an hour in, we did. I'm so glad we did that, because I thought it was like 15 minutes. Didn't I?
You did have a massive panic.
No. Well, I think Shane would be proud of me because I was quite calm. I was a bit like, "Oh, I'm very, very sorry."
Yeah, you were calm. That's why he wears a hat. It's just he's got no hair. It's all falling out from stress.
You're not wrong, You're not wrong. But I kept saying, I'm sorry, Bibbs. It's never happened to me before. This doesn't usually happen. And I was like, that's a very guy-like excuse.
How many times does he say that a week? I'm just questioning it now.
But we like to keep the show honest. So that's what just happened. So if there's a break in the conversation, that is why, okay? Now let's talk about what you guys are actually doing. The event that you guys are taking part in the Darwin Festival, and why you guys feel it's important to do that. So start from the beginning. You're doing the launch party, isn't there?
First of all, there's the exhibition, which runs from the 6th to the 29th. We've got it for a longer period of time because we're usually closed at this time of the year for maintenance and so forth. And so we've got the hall, and it's very nice that we can have it for that amount of time, because I believe there's a children's break during that time, and we'd love to see mums with their kids coming along to see the exhibition, because it's an education.
Well, I'd like to come. I'd like to come, bring a microphone and talk to people, see what their thoughts are and what they're looking at, things like that. That'd be nice.
Oh, we'd love to have you there.
Yeah.
And then we have got a talk which is actually almost fully booked. And it's on the Darwin family members. It was advertised as being done by the author of the Darwins of Shrewsbury.
By Andrew Patterson.
Patterson, yes, but unfortunately he's had some family problems, which he's had to back out of the talk.
Oh,
but guess what? I'm taking over. Yay!
That'd be great. I mean, obviously the half an hour we've been talking to you, you know your stuff, man.
Well, having researched for this exhibition, I think I know more about Darwin than he knew himself or wanted to know. But today I've been looking into Erasmus Darwin, who was his grandfather. And my goodness, what an amazing family the Darwins were.
Are there any of them, like connections to Darwin, still living in Shrewsbury bloodline?
Oh, I don't know about that.
But there's the Wedgwood family as well, isn't it? The Wedgwood family.
The Wedgwood family and the Darwin family were strongly linked. Erasmus was great friends with Josiah Wedgwood, and that's how that link started up. And Robert, his son, married into the Wedgwood family, Susanna, I believe. And then, of course, Charles married Emma. So there was a very strong link with the Wedgwood family.
And that's why when you go into the Unitarian Church, there's that Wedgwood blue thing, line that runs all the way around the building, is to celebrate the Wedgwood.
Yes, and they've got a lovely plaque there. And actually, I think his mother used to take him to that church as a little boy. Yeah, I believe he was christened in St. Chad's, but he actually went to the Unitarian Church. And Mr. Case's school, which was his day school, he was the Unitarian minister. So it was. They have very strong links with that church.
Yeah, where's Darwin buried?
He's buried in Westminster Abbey.
Really?
Yes, he had an amazingly huge funeral where all the powerful people came to it, and we actually have a picture of it in the exhibition, so you can see him in the Westminster Abbey.
That's fantastic. He deserves that. I think. So you've got the Darwins. Is there anything else you guys are doing? I mean,
we've got the talk, and then we've got the launch party. Now we're nearly sold out with that, but there are invitations going out to various people in town. And that is just to celebrate his life on his birthday, which is the
12th.
The 12th of February, and it's a Thursday, so we'll be doing that on Thursday night. We've got the mayor coming.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Good old Phil.
I love Phil. He's a good guy.
He is a great guy.
I believe the Shrewsbury Biscuit might be going as well. I've heard rumours.
Only rumours.
That guy called Alex.
Yeah, might be there.
Yeah. And, of course, our chairman, Byron Granger-Jones, will be saying a few words, and it gives everybody a chance to sing.
How many people are you expecting?
At the moment, I'm not sure. It can take up to 100 people standing. So at the moment, we've got about 40.
Right, okay.
So there's room for more, but we haven't had replies to the invitations.
Oh.
Basically because we haven't sent them out yet. But they're going out this week.
I've never actually been in there, so I'm really looking forward to it. I really am. I love looking at the old buildings and that. So I can't wait.
I'll give you a tour, because we've got offices in the back. It's really amazing inside.
Well, what time's this? At 7:00? Maybe I can come a bit earlier and we can do like a
tour of it. Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. Yeah, baby. Is there anything that you guys aren't taking part of with that you're looking forward to go and seeing yourself at the festival? Is there anything
I saw that they're doing the creation in the museum. That's the film that was made on his life with Emma. I'm really looking forward to that.
That might be nice. I might see if I can get into that.
And also, I believe I heard a whisper that the museum was free.
Yes, there is.
Yes, it is going to be free, isn't it?
Between Friday the 14th to the Sunday the 16th, the art gallery and the museum is going to be free. So it says here, explore millions of years of history through 1,000 remarkable objects in the extraordinary set of buildings that house Shrewsbury Museum and Art Gallery. So you can go and have a look at that, and it's free. Take the kids to the museum.
Yeah, I think it's lovely. I always used to do that when my children were younger, but if you're local and it's free, then why not?
Yeah, definitely. Like I'm local and I've only ever been once.
Well, I used to work there. I actually transferred the museum from Rowley House over. Well, helped transfer. And so that was.
It's a much better location for them now, isn't it?
Oh, it is. And they've got so much wonderful things in there. I mean, it's really amazing. The Roman gallery is terrific. So,
and there's a music hall as well. The music hall is quite nice to look at.
The architecture of the music hall, and to think that they've preserved it and renovated it in such a wonderful way.
The Beatles played there. They played there.
They did, didn't they?
They did, yeah.
That's always pointed out to visitors when I used to be a guide.
This is where Ringo sat, and this is where.
And they stayed at the Lion, I believe.
Oh wow! Well, the Lion's famous. It's got the Darwin connection as well, isn't it? Because that's where.
Yes.
People don't really
He
know about
set
that.
off from there. I don't know if it was in Samuel Hayward's carriage that he used to drive up to London, but he set off from there to go on his Beagle journey.
Yeah.
And then he writes to his sister as he's coming back, shall I stay at the Lion tonight, or shall I interrupt you at a very inconvenient hour? So
I went on John King's tour, which is John King is a great guy. He knows what he's talking about, the Darwin thing. If anybody wants, and he explained all that to me. And he's doing a tour as well, isn't he? On Darwin's birthday, the 12th, I think it is. Is it the 12th? Oh yeah, Darwin's birthday toast and tour. That's on the 12th, and it's a free guided tour. I do believe that's possibly sold out now. It's
probably
full.
is.
It's full.
I mean, it's been going for years, hasn't it?
Yeah,
and
yeah.
he's so well known.
Yeah, he does a great tour. When I met up last year, it didn't seem that full. There was probably about 10, 11 people on that tour, and they brought some bottles of wine, and they did a toast for him in the morning.
Oh, wow.
And they take you on this hour and a half walk around town, where they show you bits like the Lion. This is where the voyage of the Beagle began. Like this is where one of the most famous voyages in history began, and bits like that. If there are spaces left and you can get on that. It's brilliant. But yeah, I love what you guys do, because not only do you preserve Shrewsbury's heritage, you celebrate it as well, and I think that's really, really important. And we can help you in whatever you would like us to help you with this. You want us to turn up to an event, we'll bring some microphones. We'll come and talk to you guys. If you want us to do anything, we can help you out.
Well, it's lovely being able to talk to the public through Shrewsbury Biscuit podcast, because I'm the membership secretary as well, believe it or not, and we'd love to have you as members, because the thing is, we can do so much for Shrewsbury, but if our voice isn't loud, it's not effective.
Where can people find out about the membership?
Well, they can certainly write to me at info@shrewsburycivicsociety.co.uk, or they can pop in after the 6th of February. We're closed at the moment. The building is closed, and pick up a membership form. Or go on our website, which is www.shrewsburycivicsociety.co.uk.
A website which I've just been looking at. You've got some great pictures on there, the snow and stuff on it. Yeah, it's a great website. I love it.
Yeah, Russell does the website as well, and he loves snow pictures.
Darwin Festival set aside. We've done that. Is there anything else that you guys are looking forward to this year that you'd like to tell people about?
Wow, that's a hard one. I should have prepared for that.
He likes to do this to people.
Let me think. Well, we've got lots of events. You can go on the website and find out our events. We've got all sorts of talks. We've got a lady who's going to come and dress up as Lady Berwick and give a talk in May. And we've got Stan Sedman, who's a great man. He's going to give a talk on the Shrewsbury show, the old Shrewsbury show, which used to be of the guilds and this sort of thing.
Okay, yeah.
That's going to be in September. We have quizzes.
Yeah?
We love to have quiz teams come along to our quizzes.
We keep saying about doing a quiz team,
And we have all sorts of things going on that really are fun to do.
Yeah. I feel like with these things, you need to be part of the community to kind of understand what's going on. So to be able to be part of the community is become a member, or to go on the website, follow you on Twitter, that sort of thing. What's your Twitter handle? You said you're on Twitter.
At the Bear Steps.
At the Bear Steps.
At the Bear Steps. And thank you, all my Twitter followers. I'm the one that does the Twitter feed.
It's a great way to just keep in touch with what you guys are doing. So if you're not following them, At the Bare Steps is where to be, and that's where you can find out about all the events and keep up to date with what's going on.
Yes, I have tried Instagram, but I'm really a failure at it at the moment. But Twitter is where you'll find me.
Well, your husband's a dab hand with a camera. He's been taking pictures of us before we start. It's just a case of taking those pictures and putting them onto Instagram. Maybe we can help you with that. I mean, with what you guys do, for example, For the Love of Shrewsbury is a celebration of pictures that are taken all around Shrewsbury and the history, and it's a great floating thing. If you created an Instagram similar to that, based on the history and the Civic Society and what you guys do, it would absolutely explode. I guarantee it. So maybe something worth looking at.
Yes. Maybe I need some training on that.
Well, thank you so much for joining us. I'm really sorry for the break in the audio. That was terribly embarrassing, but we caught up, and I've enjoyed talking to you. I was so more upset at the fact that we had such a free flowing conversation and it just ended. I was like, I'm gonna have to stop you there.
Things we carried on talking even when you were trying to.
I was just waving at you like I don't know why. I think it's more because I didn't want to be impolite, but I was like, the audio's dead. Have you got anything to add, DeeDee? Is there anything you want to ask?
I think we have covered everything that I was thinking of, but thank you so much. It's been so lovely to meet you.
Oh, it's been great meeting you both.
Yeah, we will see each other again. I think we got one more planning meeting, I think, left to do.
That's right. Yes, in February.
Yeah, and
this wasn't as painful as I thought it was.
No, it's not that bad, is it?
That's very good.
The amount of people that are like, I'm so scared. There's a podcast. I'm talking, but you get here, we relax, we get you a cup of coffee or tea or whatever. We sit, talk to you. It's just like conversation, and we love it. You
just forget about the mics, don't you, after a while?
You do. It's good fun. Thank you very much. Before we leave, I need to say thank you to our sponsors. Gin Different have been fantastic and sponsored us for this month, and I want to repay the favour by telling you about them. Make sure you check out their bar, which is at the top floor of the market hall. They sell all kinds of interesting gins. They'll find you a bottle of gin that you can't find in Asda. If you're looking for a certain bottle you can't quite get, they'll get it in for you. You can buy it there. And they've got the gin bar's quite cool as well.
It is. It's very cool. I think they're open on the late nights. They do, isn't it? In the
late nights.
The late nights. Yeah. Oh. You have to get up there early though, because there's only standing room if you're late.
And like I said about Bibbs kind of community, you got to be in it to win it. I guess you got to be. Yes. So make sure you follow the Gin Different on Instagram, Facebook, and find out what they're doing, because they do lots of interesting things. Make sure you check out our website as well, which is the Shrewsbury Biscuit Podcast.co.uk. We've got our audio, which you can play directly off there, and there's lots to look at as well. And finally, to find out everything you need to do about the Darwin Festival, go to originalshrewsbury.co.uk. The link to the Darwin Festival events is just there. You can click on there and it brings you down all the events, and you can click on all them. It'll take you to the certain websites, places to buy tickets and book tickets. It's a great way to find out what's going on. So thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you.
One last time, and thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, and we'll catch you next time. Peace out, guys.